And today's video is brought to you by Herpes. Herpes, our genital wart sponsor, who's guaranteed never to go away, always reappearing at your most inconvenient time, such as before going out to prom, before a big old speech in front of other people, while going on television, or while going down on your friend or neighbor. Herpes, the gift that keeps on giving. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, children, and those of undecided sexes. I never thought I'd say that, but okay, here we go. This is my little Tiger 900 Rally Pro. It was bought in 2020, the year of our Lord Apocalypse and of the virus of unknown origin. We all know where that one came from, don't we, gents? Now, it's looking quite clean. That's because it has just come back from service. Although clean is another definition I'd like to touch upon with the dealer, because there are, a bit of elbow grease would have sufficed. Regardless, 10,000 kilometers. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a year. What is my opinion on it? An honest opinion, a German opinion, a opinion by a complete and utter nutbag. Yeah, I know, at this point you were already clicking close YouTube, next channel. But hey, bear with me. 10,000 kilometers later, let's start with the negative shit, as I am a negative cunt. Or as they say in Afrikaans, a boes. Okay? 10,000 kilometers, what broke? Very few things for a British machine, I must say. There were no oil leaks, there were no cracked frames, electronics worked. I'm really struggling to find things that actually broke. But here we go anyway. The first thing that went missing, I have to put some grease on that. This little bumper, this is not the original. They've actually added another bumper from another bike to make it more durable. Else there's just this little piece of rubber here, keeping the side stand from going against the frame. That disappeared in the first 1,000 kilometers, but not a big deal. Then the chain guide or chain protector, that cracked straight through, but that's plastic, and I can only imagine, because it's not built for the type of off-road riding I do, well, never mind. Fixed under warranty. What else? At 9,000 kilometers, I was doing the Eastern Cape trip, going through the Hell, Swartberg Pass, and a lot of corrugation. These springs, see these weird things? These completely disintegrated, and I can only imagine this was due to the coastal weather where corrosion set in, because these things are quite thin. So those perished, and the rubbers that sit here, there are two rubber rings basically, those also perished. So I would say that's a material failure, but that's about it. Congratulations, that's all that went wrong here. That's kind of reliable, huh? Yeah, okay, Poos, but what is it like riding it? I mean, off-road and long distance. Okay, when I went to a local event, which was about 400 kilometers away, I rode there. Okay, it was tall, it was straight, but it was fucking boring, okay? And yet when I arrived, everybody said, so, did you trailer your bike? It's like, no. Jesus, I'm not 65 years old, fragile. 400 kilometers and this thing is easy. Why? Because cruise control, heated grips, heated seat. And that being said, the seat, I wish they made a comfort model, because after about 200 kilometers, your testicles and member start falling asleep, so you got to stand up, move around. Best thing is put on some music, dance, jiggle the ass, give the guy behind you a show. Stand up, wiggle, wiggle. Power-wise, look, I'm not from an 1190R from KTM. It cannot compete, all right? But it's fast enough to get you there. If you want to race with your friends, then go get a liter bike, okay, or a BMW or something else. But if you want something with comfort, ease of use, easy to service too, get this, all right? Off-road. And I've ridden with a lot of people, BMWs, KTMs, and whatever they can do, I'm sure they can do it faster because they're more experienced, but I got there in the end. And it was, my experience in off-road is, below the floor level, where others are like here, okay? So I tend to hit the wrong line, hit a rut, hit a pothole, hit that stone, the only stone in the middle of the road that's protruding 30 centimeters out. I'm that kind of idiot. And this bike took it. No dented rims, no smileys, nothing. This bike just said, yeah, okay, you're an asshole, but I'll get you there. It is a forgiving bike. Even if you're in 5th gear and you're down to 30 kilometers an hour, you just twist the throttle and the bike will say, okay, hold on, we'll get you there. And it just chews through it. I love that. It's really, can't call it a beginner's bike, but it's forgiving enough if this is the first time you're going off-road, because you're getting a complete package that will really make your life easier. So far, all smiles, right? What about the weight? Okay, it's heavy. But, hold on, knock on wood. Ow. I have never picked this bike up, okay? Usually because of these long things. I can always manage it, but it's also easy. It's not the heaviest bike, it's not the lightest bike, somewhere in between, but you would be able to pick it up. If you are alone in the middle of Africa, you can get this thing back up and running. Because also it's got a center stand and tubeless tires, which are godsend. You ever change a tube on the side of the road? You know what I'm talking about. And talking about the engine, I've already said that it'll pull from 5th gear and 30 all the way up to speed again. But vibrations? Okay, let's be fair, there are a few. If you're gonna go up to 140 kilometers an hour, you will feel them. On the stock mirrors, you will see vibrations. They're not so bad once you fit bark busters or some weights to the bars, but the vibrations are the worst in this mirror for some reason, where it becomes very difficult to see something. This side, not so bad. But it comes with great fuel efficiency. When I went off-road Eastern Cape, I was averaging anything between 4.4 to 5.1 liters 100. And on long distances, the best I ever got was cruising at 110 kilometers an hour, 4.2 liters 100. And that is very economical. Compared to the 990s, which chew through 9 to 10 liters, even the T7 Yamaha, you can expect not that good. But then again, it depends how abusive you are on your right hand. Or was it the left hand? Regardless. Suspension. Now, yes, it's good, but honestly, I'm not the person to speak to when it comes to suspensions because I've been off-road and I've never even set the suspension any different. Yeah, I know, you're supposed to set it so many clicks backwards, forwards. Again, I don't have that experience. For me, the bike is rock solid. I've had Tiger 800 owners saying, look, you were in front of me. Your bike, your suspension is plush. It hardly moves. You're sitting in an easy chair. It's like, yeah, it is comfortable. And that's why I'm not going to faff with the suspension if it works for me. Coming to preventative work between services, there's not much I can tell you here. Just keep the chain greased, keep the tires round. That's about it. Very forgiving bike. At 5,000 kilometers, I actually opened up the suspension linkages to see. Sometimes manufacturers don't even put any grease on it. When I opened it, the grease was still there, it was perfect. I just added a bit more grease just for safety's sake, tightened everything, torqued it, marked it, and A4 away. I'm actually kind of ashamed that I haven't even pulled the tank off this machine yet, because the airbox sits right there, easily accessible, and there's nothing under the tank that would require my attention. So yeah, it's me who keeps faffing and modifying everything. This is, yeah, no. Coming to improvements, Triumph should really work on after 10,000 kilometers. The bash plate. Triumph, please, for heaven's sake, get rid of that bash plate. Okay, that thin aluminum. I wouldn't even use it for an ashtray. You can just punch holes with it. No good. No good. While I was speaking to the dealer as well, the Hepco and Becker bash plate they don't like it, and there's a reason for it, because the Hepco actually covers more of the front engine, and if you go into hot weather, 30 plus, the engine will actually overheat because all the heat from the headers is going up into the airbox and into the engine. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So they actually do not like the Hepco and Becker style. The T-Rex Racing one, no fucking problem. As I said, an Eastern Cape tour going through just north of Uppington, where we hit 36, 38 degrees centigrade during the day with slow riding, bit of technical or even fast riding. The bike, no issues whatsoever. That, and remember my stupidity, this is already the second bash plate I've got, because I tend to take a couple of knocks. But that's the fun off-road. What else? Every off-road adventure bike, the plastic hand guards, what the dealers put on, please stop it. Okay, at least offer your customers the option of something hardcore. The mirrors, this is a personal preference, because these you can knock around. Windscreen, I've touched upon this in another video. It depends on your size, your inseam and your third leg size. Well, maybe not the third leg, but you know what I mean. Coming to crash bars, again, these are Hepco and Becker, and I like these because they don't mount to these. These actually mount to the engine, so not ideal, but usually when you smash it down, this is the stuff that protrudes. And I like these especially because you can put your own fog lights on. You don't need to take the OEMs. There are options here. But the paint finish, and I have mentioned this to Hepco and Becker, is subpar. This is already the primer that's shining through. This is powder coated, apparently, at 486 microns. I measured it. 486 microns. Gentlemen, the primer should be 40 to 60 microns, top coat maximum 60 microns, giving you a total of 140 microns tops. So they oversprayed this. And this is where my knees, when I sit down, rub. And that's because I've got the Climb Badlands pants with the heavy abrasive material here. So this just went hardcore. On the other side as well. For those of you asking, this is just paracord, about 6 or 7 meters long, and with this little thing, and this is because if there's a bike stuck and you need to tow it out, this goes around the 1 foot peg, this one around your foot peg, and you can tow them out. And this string is strong enough. Small things, you know. Also, if you need, a makeshift belt, there you go. Upgrades, the rest, I can't really tell you anything. Obviously, a side stand enlarger, if you're going into sand, dirt, etc., always a good thing. But worthwhile upgrades, when you get one of these, the tires. Now, they give you these Bridgestone AX41s, which I can say is 90-10, street dirt compatibility. I've always been a friend of knobby tires, because, knobs are everybody's best friend. They give you such good vibrations. These are Michelin Anarchy Wild. These have got now, I would say, around about 4,000 kilometers on, and I'm guessing another 4,000 to go. So very good, hard, long wearing. The rear, however, especially with my abusive right hand, I have had Anarchy Wilds, Mitas EO7s, and now this is the Mitas EO7 Plus. Wasn't a fan of them. I always liked the non-plus version because it had that middle stripe, which meant it would last a lot longer. But going through the hell and all the shit, these tires have held up incredibly well, and I wasn't kind to them. I was half expecting a puncture the way I was going. But I gotta say, well done, Mitas. These things are working, and I'm certain that 500,000 BMW riders can't be wrong by using these either. But yeah, okay. I may have to replace them sooner rather than later. So those are the biggest upgrades, I would say. Anything else is nice to have. Okay, so we've covered the bad, the good, upgrades required. What else can I tell you? The bike does have its quirks, and some things I do not like. Yeah, there's still negative stuff here. One of the quirks is the fuel gauge. Now, coming back from the trip, I turned it on, it says, "There's no fuel in tank, your range is 0. The tank was full. And I thought maybe the sensor got stuck like in the old 1190s, but no. All you had to do is ride it for about 10 minutes and suddenly it reset itself. Now, I don't know why this is a feature. I mean, when you turn on the key, shouldn't that thing automatically calibrate itself? Never mind. But that is one of the quirks. Other than that, the fuel gauge works. What else? Oh yes, Triumph. There are 2 pet peeves I have with your bike, and both of these are software related. The first thing, and I have emailed them a lengthy time, please give us the option of disabling that bloody tire pressure sensor warning, okay? If you're going off-road, you drop the tires low, this thing will keep reminding you every 10 minutes, please stop the bike, look at the manual, you have got a puncture. So you click, yeah, fuck off. Also happens when you're running hot tires, everything is at optimum road temperature, the back wheel is 2.9, which is fucking high, but you suddenly hit up a long puddle. The tire cools down, the air inside shrinks again. What happens? The pressure drops. You get a warning and you're thinking, crap, driven over a nail, I've got a puncture. You look, there is no puncture. You bastard. At that point, take a smoke break, have a coffee. That's one of the most glaring ones. The other one is the Bluetooth connectivity to the phone. I was expecting connected with, and I listen to a lot of music. I've got a Cardo as well as a Sena headset in my helmets. Not both at the same time, I'm not that kind of schizophrenic. But when the bike connects to it, it basically disconnects the helmet headset. And the only way to do that, you have to go into your phone and select your headset again, click. And then you can, with some degree of functionality, control which song, pause. Problem is, if you get a phone call, you have to stop, select your helmet again, and do it all over. This Bluetooth module, they can remove it. It's really unnecessary or badly programmed. It's a nice idea, but real world, I don't know anybody who's had some luck with it. Maybe it's because I'm running Android. Maybe it's designed for Apple. Tim Cook, paid Triumph, $2 or 2 Apple shares to get his name or his configuration uploaded. No idea. But just be warned of this. It is finicky. And the app what Triumph gives you, which is basically Google Maps watered down with 3 words GPS coordinates, is about as helpful as I make it out to be. Yeah, sure, you can open the app and have a look. Oh, look, this is one of my many bikes, and this is how many kilometers are left until I have to bring it to service. Piss off with that shit, honestly. Coming to servicing though, expensive? Not really. 10,000 kilometer service, 4,500 rand, which is about 102 US dollars. Yeah, come visit South Africa. If you have €2, we will rename a street after you, you know. We can certainly, some guy from Scandinavia can be a new struggle icon somewhere in Soweto. I wish I was joking. Still trying to get Cunt Road certified in the middle of Johannesburg. There's a huge backup on Cunt Road. Yeah. So, gentlemen, there you go. 1 year, 10,000 kilometers later, I am happy. I don't care if you were to give me a T7 Yamaha for free. I would not change it. I have grown to love this bike. Okay? Couldn't care about an 890 anymore, 790. Piss off. This bike has taken me, you know, I would say 70% of it was taken off-road, and it just performed. It got me there in comfort. I didn't feel wrecked. I didn't need to pick it up like every fucking GS I go on tour with, which I always have to pick one of those fuckers up because the short shits haven't figured out plateau shoes are necessary. Sorry. But I digress. Future upgrades, there's nothing that I would change here. Maybe the seat, if there's a comfort model. But then I'd lose the heated ass in winter, which, that's about it. So if you're on the fence and looking at one of these, look, for my honest opinion, depending on your off-road skill, if you really go hard off-road and you have got the skill and all that, look, maybe go for a KTM or a Yamaha T7. The latter one I would actually recommend over the KTM. Yeah. But if you want something, you know, that is competent, comfortable, and won't kill you as quickly as the others, please see your local Triumph dealer. And of course, if you need any other assistance, just drop me a comment. If you have questions, I'll gladly answer them. It's not like I masturbate every minute. What I mean to say is I do have some free time outside of my personal sphere. Anyway, thank you for watching. The video is now at an end. You can wake up and click close.